Hello everyone, this video is a quick guide on Weapon Trial 3 Level 70 Stage 11. This video will cover a quick understanding of the boss mechanics and how to deal with them, and the possible recommended units you may wish to use and explore. Now for the mechanics. The boss traits and reaction. First, at the end of each turn, if there are less than 6 rocks, the boss will summon 1 rock. Second, whenever a rock is destroyed, the boss will gain a stackable buff called Sacrifice Ritual that increases its magic attack by 4%, but it can be dispelled. In addition, the boss will take some damage after the rocks are destroyed. So throughout the fight, you will need to destroy these rocks and at the same time, dispel the magic attack buff from the boss. There are several ways to dispel this magical attack buff. If you are using Rawiya, you can use her Dispelling Strike basic attack that dispels 2 buff. If you are using units like Rawiya again, August, Coco, Outlaw Guard, Magnus, you can also equip either the Tuning Hammer or Anti-Magic Axe on them to dispel 1 to 2 buffs depending on the gear star levels. Else, you can have one unit that is positioned within 2 tiles of the boss to equip the Redemption of the Judgment Tarot. This tarot dispels 2 buffs from a random enemy at the end of the turn within 2 tiles of the unit. If you have it at level 60 with the bonus passive, it will also inflict Judgment debuff for 2 turns that increases the damage taken by 10%. Third, the boss alternates having Magical Shield or Physical Shield. You can check the boss status to see which shield it is. While having a shield, it is immune to all debuffs. One important thing to note, because of its advanced immunity trait, the boss will gain Act again after defeating a summon unit once a round. This includes Iana's Guard, Safia's HM agent. Lastly, for the reaction, before taking an attack, the damage will decrease by 15% for each rocks that is still in the stage, up to 45%. As such, you will want to destroy the rocks as soon as possible and as many as possible before unleashing your heavy burst attacks. Now, let's talk about its attack cycle. Similarly to Weapon Trial 2, this boss have a first one-time attack followed by a 3-cycle attack pattern that repeats until end of the fight. The first attack, Ashes to Ashes Extra 2, is a basic hard-hitting attack that deals magical damage and inflicts no passive skills debuff for 2 turns. This attack has an interesting target pattern, and it will always target the same tile no matter which unit. Unless the tile is not occupied, then it will target a unit in another fixed location tile. You can use this to your advantage by placing a unit with high magical defense or magical defense reduction to get hit. If you have Coco, you can use her existing cover skill to get hit instead. After the first one-time attack, the boss goes on a fixed 3-cycle attack pattern that starts off with Omen of Doom Extra 2, Misfortune Cohesion Extra 2, followed by Apocalypse Extra 2. Omen of Doom is a hard-hitting single-target attack that deals 170% magical damage to a unit with the highest magical defense, and summons 2 rocks in a fixed location. By using units like Angel, or units with Devil Tarot, you can choose which unit you want to get attacked. Angel has an aura skill that increases 30% magical defense within 2 tiles around her, and Devil Tarot increases defense up to 30% for each rock destroyed or unit killed. To survive this attack, you can equip the Rejection Mask Epic Trinket that decreases 20% to 30% magical damage taken depending on the gear star level. There is also the Strut of Void Legendary Trinket that can decrease magical damage by 50%. You can also use Snow Lotus from Coco for damage reduction 3 buff. If not, you can decrease the boss magical attack directly by using units like Outlaw's Guard Intimidate, Naga's Mark Illumination, Safia's Weapon Eroder, Magnus' passive Cry of Victory. Another interesting way to deal this attack is to use Safia's Shadowless Blade that deal damage and inflicts vulnerable to debuff when attacked. However, you will need to make sure that she has the highest magical defense in the team by using Angel's Aura, Devil's Tarot, or the 1/1 Resonance of randomly gaining 1 level 2 buff, a chance of getting the level 2 magical defense buff. Now for the summoned rock mechanic. Similar to level 65 stage 10 fight, there will be 2 types of rocks and they will be summoned in a fixed location unless your unit is in its way. You can predict their location and position your units accordingly to deal with them. Using units like Coal and Crimson Falcon makes it easier, or even a well-positioned Ballista. The blue Destroyer rocks and the yellow Watcher rocks both have different damage taken decreased by 75%. You will want to destroy the blue rocks using range attacks as it has melee damage decreased by 75%. Likewise, for the yellow rocks, it has range damage decreased by 75%. As such, you will want to attack it with melee attacks. However, AoE attacks doesn't get a penalty, as such you can use Gloria or Ballista AoE attack to deal with these rocks. Both rocks does a 3 tile single target physical attack. In addition, they have different passives too. For the blue rock, if it is in dying stage after being attacked, it will explode and deal damage within a 1 tile radius. If you attack the yellow rocks with a range attack, it will perform a strike back basic attack. Basically, you will want to destroy these rocks using the right damage dealers throughout the fight. Next, the boss will use Misfortune Cohesion where it gains a shield, prepares for 1 turn, and deals magical damage plus the remaining shield value to all enemies. The first shield will always be magical, followed by physical, and it alternates until the end of the fight. This is different from level 65 fight, as you will need to bring in both magical and physical damage dealers to deal with this boss mechanic. It is important to remember that when the shield is up, the boss is immune to all debuffs. This is very different from level 65 fight, as in this fight you cannot use Warhorn tactic during the shield phase to destroy the shield. However, you can safely stack debuffs of more than 1 turn to the boss to help deal increased damage to the shield. After this AoE attack, there will be another hard-hitting AoE attack called the Apocalypse. That damage depends on the number of rocks left in the stage. As this is a back-to-back AoE attack pattern, you have to make sure to have sufficient NRG to AoE heal your team. For each rock left, damage will increase by 20% and stacks 3 times. However, if there are more than 4 rocks, the boss deals even more damage. As this attack is a target of 3 tiles radius and a height range of 4, you can safely ignore this attack if you are on the left side of the stage at the top. To counter this attack, you can reduce the boss magic attack power, increase your magic defense, or have magic damage reduction buffs. As this attack occurs at round 5, if your team can survive this AoE attack, you will have a high chance of winning the fight. In summary, the boss does a 1-time single attack followed by a 3-cycle attack pattern. While this is happening, you will need to reposition your units accordingly to destroy the summon rocks, dispel magical attack buff from the boss before it does its attack, destroy magical and physical shields, and heal your team properly for the back-to-back AoE attacks. Next, on the possible recommended units you may wish to use and explore. For the healers, highly recommend Angel as she brings in a lot to the fight. AoE healing and magical defense increase aura. Another healer you may consider is Iana that comes with her guard for an extra hand in damage. She can provide AoE heals, act again, and even increase attack and defense through her soulmate skill. Next will be Coco. As usual, she brings a lot to the team with her heals and multiple buffs. If you are soloing using Coco as a healer, you have to especially make sure that you are able to AoE heal the back-to-back AoE attack. Another interesting support healer you can use will be the newly released unit Homa. Her heals are based off her physical attack stats. For damage dealers that will be split between magical and physical. For magical dealers you have Beryl, Nanga, Akambe, Dandelion, Hasna, Night Raven, Lash, Abyss, Fire Conjurer, Flame Sorceress. If you are unable to one-turn destroy the magical shield, you can look to bring in 2 magical damage dealers instead. Alternatively, you can use Urgent Order tactic to attack the boss before its turn to destroy the shield. For some of the melee physical damage dealers, there is August, Saphia, Gloria, Ravia, Nono Will, Garcia, Iggy, Cole, Crimson Falcon, and Outlaw Guard. Especially Cole and Crimson Falcon as they are able to deal with the rocks adequately. For the ranged physical damage dealers, you can have Lily Whale, Homa, and Ballista. For debuffers, you can use Nono Will, Magnus, Homa, Saphia, Outlaw Guard, and even Coco for her Vulnerable 2 debuff. For some of the buffers, you can have Coco, Gloria, Butterfly, Homa, Iana, and even Candlelight for her NRG restore. Basically, you can mix and match based off the information and set up your team. Depending on your talent levels and equipment, you may have to keep adjusting until you find a sweet spot to deal sufficient damage to the boss and survive to clear the fight. Lastly, for the gameplay, you can check out some of my cleared videos on Weapon Trial 3 Level 70. The links are down below in the description. Additionally, you can also check out a very useful website that compiles a list of cleared videos for Weapon Trials and Tarot Whisper Residue. The website is called Voyage Momento. Link is also down below in the description. That's it for the quick guide. Hope it is helpful for the fight. Thanks for watching!